This is Dabu 7, March 20th, 2014. Bombshell video here. Information here is critical. What you're seeing is an article put out in Russia, 2008. December 26th to be exact. And what is stated in this article is absolutely amazing. Russian analysts give their thoughts of what is going to happen. And they state that Barack Obama will begin the Third World War in the Crimea. They stated this in 2008. Now, right from the top, when you start to read this article, it is choppy because it's translated from Russian. You can see that they state that the new President Barack Obama in the Crimea will be implemented a scenario of armed conflict. It is of the American scenario, and under Obama, the probability is much higher than under McCain, said the roundtable in Kiev. Now, they said that it was clear that Obama's team was surrounded by Wall Street. Now, they say that Wall Street, these people that Obama has engaged himself with and surrounded himself with, are for this technology called technologies of controlled chaos. That is the motto, for those of you that know, of the elite. To divide and conquer controlled chaos. It is their motto. And here the Russians are speaking this aloud in this article, 2008, calling it. It's as if they've seen into the future right now. This is what is happening. Unfolding, so to speak. Now, according to Akar here, he said that Georgia was the first area of controlled chaos, with the next being Ukraine, namely Crimea. This is the point of fire, including global conflicts that escalate into a world war, which unfortunately is one of the scenarios, the implementation of which at the moment is real, they state. Now, you got to realize these are analysts from Russia calling it with all of their knowledge and what they see going down. I've told you, the world is a stage, with Russia playing its part and Obama playing its part. Some people just cannot seem to wrap their head around it. Well, here is irrefutable proof that everything that is unraveling and taking place right now in the Crimea that you see was plotted long ago. Now, you can also see as they continue here that when people talk about the war in the Crimea, that they're not going to see it as being as other Russian conflicts, that this is going to be different. And they say that this will make Russia much weaker in the end. They're analysts. And that's exactly why the United States is doing it. And they said the U.S. ambitions toward Crimea confirmed and signed recently a Ukrainian-American charter on a partnership. Now, as we know, they've been trying to get them into NATO, and they revolted. They rejected the EU. That's when these Maidan soldiers showed up, these snipers, started chaos, their motto, started shooting people on both sides, and ran out the elected president. And now they have a puppet government in place inside of the Ukraine. But Russia swooped in and took over the Crimea. Now, where is all the steam coming from John Kerry and Biden about the Crimea? Russia has invaded it. They don't speak on that here in this article. But as they continue, they go on to state that in the fifth section, it is devoted to the expansion of human contacts and cooperation in the field of culture, that Ukraine, as it follows, welcomes the intention of the United States to increase its diplomatic presence in the Crimea. So they're basically stating they welcome this. Last minute, it seems like they didn't. Now, this document also refers to the support of Kiev against Moscow on the withdrawal of the Russian Black Sea Fleet from Crimea. Now, that's big. One of the main reasons Russia invaded, to secure these ports and all these ships. Now, the fact that Crimea is the most promising ground for destabilization, beneficial to both Americans and Kiev, is huge. This is what they're stating, and you have to remember, this is in 2008 they're saying all this. And they also go on to state that they're going to blame stuff on pro-Russia activists. And they finish off here, interestingly enough, by stating that the Crimea cannot be avoided. And that shows that right there they knew that this was going to be inevitable. In that the United States was not going to stop at anything. And that Barack Obama, even though he was going to get sidelined, it says right here, Obama will be busy with international problems. Can you say Syria, Libya? But in the long term, Obama will resume his authority in Europe. And in the long term, the U.S. administration will pay particular attention to the Ukraine. And that's exactly what they are doing now. To counterbalance Russia in the region. And it will remain for the United States a deterrent to Russia. So, as you can see right here, listen to this very closely, this end piece. Most visionary already, hard rehearsing for the upcoming bout Crimea, for the opera. This is what I tell you guys. This is a stage. Held recently in Kiev, command post exercise on actions volunteer units on the Crimean theater of operations after the Russian military aggression. Organizers, which include Brotherhood and New Force Association, argue the conflict between the Ukraine and Russia, which would be held no later than 2011. Do you see they had this planned? The entire burden of the resistance will be voluntary organizations. So the only resistance that's going to happen are people that get up off their tail and cause a revolution and stop this. The scenario campaign general staff of the armed forces has already been developed. Sure, role players in this theater. Do you see? 2008, folks. They knew it, they spoke it, they wrote it, and they published it, and here it is. And for anyone that wants to try to come and debunk it, went in and checked the source code. You can check the cache copy. It's 2008. You can do your research. We've already been there, tore it apart, and it's real. From 2008. These guys had this knowledge, and you're seeing it come to life. And what's the heading? Obama will use Crimea to spark world war. And the next one is number 3. No doubt about it. This isn't to scare nobody. This is just to wake people up. This is a fact. This whole thing is plotted. This is a big game. I've been trying to warn you. Spread the word. This is real, and this is proof, irrefutable. This has all been plotted. World War III is part of a big play, and when millions and millions of people die, it's because the leaders of these countries, all of these countries, were in on it together, and they betrayed and sold out their people. It's the only way they can effectively, as a new world order, staying together as an elite unit, diminish the population of the planet. This controlled chaos that they speak of right here. It is all right here. The things they say I think are amazing in this piece. Prophetic in a sense. It doesn't get much clearer than this. This is the writing on the wall. This has all been planned, plotted, and scripted. And here is your proof. Eyes open, guys. This has been Taboo 7. Peace.